It's time to bring you up to speed with regards to the top headlines coming in this morning with regards to the biggest matter of concern for Delhiites. The Delhi government's ban on non-BS6 vehicles is set to affect daily life for lakhs of commuters in the city from today onwards. Now, older petrol and diesel vehicles, which make up a significant portion of Delhi's fleet, will no longer be allowed on the city roads. Let me tell you the stats here. Delhi has over 14 lakh BS1, about 38 lakh BS2, 53 lakh BS3 vehicles, all of which contribute heavily to the current air pollution. BS1 diesel vehicles emit 31 times more particulate matter than BS4 vehicles, while BS4 vehicles still emit 4.5 to 5.5 times more than BS6 vehicles. These older vehicles also release high levels of NOx, CO and also SO2, contributing to Delhi's toxic air. Transport alone accounts for 28% of PM 2.5, 41% of SO2 and 78% of NOx in the city. While the policy aims to reduce emissions, Delhi's scrappage infrastructure is insufficient. The city currently has only one operational automated fitness testing center and a handful of authorized scrappage yards. Planned expansion is slow, raising concerns about how effectively older vehicles can be removed from the roads. The ban will impact residents for sure, who rely on older vehicles for their daily commuting. Incentives for scrapping, including discounts up to 20,000 rupee or 1.5% of ex-showroom price, are available, but these are insufficient for many middle and also lower income families. Without adequate alternatives, Delhi now risks their mobility, disruption and increased pressure on the public transport. Experts caution that removing vehicles without improving infrastructure or providing sustainable alternatives may limit the environmental benefits. Age-based scrapping also fails to account for well-maintained older vehicles that could still meet emission standards. Automobile expert Raj Kapoor is joining us live on the broadcast. Let's discuss this matter forward with the subject matter expert joining us here. Mr. Kapoor, thank you so much for speaking to News9. First up, sir, what do you think of these new norms being introduced from today onwards, despite of the older ones being in place? Do you think it is going to curb the pollution to significant rates here in the national capital?
So, to start with, obviously, our current pollution levels are not acceptable and measures have to be taken. But my assessment of this is that, phasing out BS4 and earlier vehicles is really not going to change the AQI levels to a significant number. What needs to be done is that you should be transparent with the data that has been captured over the last so many years, where when we did odd and even, what was the drop? The drop on PM 2.5 was around 15%. So what it means is if you remove 40% of the vehicles from the road, the net effect is not over 15-20%. So obviously, this is not the only issue that we are facing today. There are other factors which are affecting pollution, and unless we have an holistic and a more structured approach to the entire thing, taking action which is going to affect millions of citizens who are working in this city is not really the best approach, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Mr. Kapoor, also, if we have to look at the new norms, the new rules that have been brought into the picture today are highly Delhi-centric. But what about the adjoining cities like Noida, like Ghaziabad, like Gurugram, Faridabad? What about the commuters traveling on a daily basis to Delhi, and restrictions also to be put in place as far as Uttar Pradesh and Haryana's picture is concerned?
So, obviously, Delhi is the hub of the NCR. All commute within the NCR either goes to Delhi or goes through Delhi. So as soon as you put this filter onto Delhi, everybody around the NCR is affected. So, whether you're allowed to drive a 15-year-old, BS4 vehicle in Noida or Gurgaon, it makes no difference because, you will eventually need to travel through Delhi or to Delhi. So the effect is across the NCR.
Absolutely. Also, Mr. Kapoor, according to you, I want your expert viewpoint here, sir. What should be some of the curbs, some of the restrictions, apart from those which have been implemented in the past, apart from those which are going to be implemented from today onwards? What are some of the things that the Delhi government can still consider?
So, I have propagated this earlier as well, and I'm saying this again, that we have data today which says which are the most highly polluting zones in the city or in the NCR. So if we filter these older vehicles from going there, so we create these low emission zones within the city, and you stop these cars which are more polluting from entering those high density, high polluting zones, or tax them more, give them a toll for entering that. It will reduce the pollution, because the older vehicles, when they're trapped in traffic jams, they pollute more. If you create better easier bypasses where the cars travel quickly and can reach their destination, it's a plus. You just stopping the cars or banning the cars is not a solution, because there is no other option. I mean, the public transport is not capable of handling the volume of traffic that we have. I mean, it's again a known fact that our bus or public transport density per citizen is far lower than the global standard. So we have no alternates. We are going to stop people from commuting to work. It will only create, angst and unrest.
Mr. Kapoor, also, since so you hold an expertise in the automobile sector, I want to understand from you the functioning of the engines which are now going to be allowed inside the premises of Delhi. How are those going to exactly function and prevent the further air pollution? Because this time around, even in the festival and vacation, season, there is no hilly escape for the Delhiites.
So definitely the BS6 engine setup is a far more efficient and a far more cleaner setup than BS4. There is no argument on that. But maybe, for a country where, owning a car is still an aspirational action, and it's not easy for a middle income citizen to just, junk his car, which still has a lot of life left in it. And, you know, our our upbringing has been such that we are not in tune with throwing away or discarding, acquisitions. We tend to keep them, treasure them, and use them to the end of life. So if we create opportunities for people to discover ways and means of making those vehicles more efficient or less polluting, which is if we can even reduce PM 2.5 emissions from older cars by retrofitting some additional component in the exhaust system. These are all steps which you can put in today and slowly phase out, instead of taking a drastic action like this, because data suggests that even if we remove 50% of the cars, it is not going to change the scenario dramatically.
The government had to begin from somewhere. I believe this is just the initiation, because there is a mounting pressure, be it the parliamentary discussions also which are going on. The opposition has been, trying to corner out the central government over the policies. And not only that, it's not only Delhi's situation, but also of the Uttar Pradesh, also of the Haryana, the adjoining, states which are also being ruled by BJP at the moment. So don't you think this initiation coming into the picture is at least the beginning? It is a good start, of course.
Definitely, I'm in full agreement to the fact that there have to be measures taken to improve the situation. But what I'm saying is that a lot more can happen prior to this action. We need to put in more public transport to ensure that if you stop people from commuting in their own vehicles, then there are options available to them. there is a lot of dust pollution. So, what are the measures that we are taking to reduce dust pollution? So, maybe if the government can be more transparent in sharing data, that this is what happens when we take this step, this is the improvement that takes place if we take this step, then maybe all stakeholders will start to buy into this idea of reducing pollution gradually. But if the action is drastic, then obviously there is a reaction that is you're not a stakeholder, then you start becoming the victim. That's what I'm trying to say.
Data sharing is something very critical, sir, that you have touched upon, because there are complaints of the pollution meters not functioning properly and not showing the correct data at the moment. About the dust, particles in the environment, sir, I believe apart from the vehicular emission control at this given point, which also contributes to the maximum amount of pollution, here in Delhi, NCR, of course, the government is also saying that they are going to focus on the solid waste management also. They are trying to curb it down by about 90%, and apart from that, they are also going to push forward carpooling in Delhi NCR. These are some of the steps that they are trying to promote. Your thoughts on that?
No, definitely, these are positives. I mean, what I'm saying is that maybe we should be a little more gradual in implement steps which are not too drastic to begin with, so that everyone who is a stakeholder buys into this, and collectively we try and improve this. Instead of saying, no, you can't use this vehicle, your vehicle is now junk. That's too dramatic and drastic action for any citizen to absorb, because it's a loss. And today, everyone is struggling.